This literally happened last night. It's quite depressing, really, to be honest. To give a bit of a backstory behind what's happened in Liverpool last night, we have been housing refugees in a hotel, in the Suites Hotel in Merseyside. There's quite a lot of very far-right people around there in that area, I believe, and they have basically mobilized. They're not calling them refugees, they're calling them illegal migrants. Basically, one video came out of this 15-year-old girl, I believe it's here, who filmed one of them who is allegedly one of these refugees who's being housed at this hotel in Merseyside, and he's asking this girl for her number in this video, and she says that she's 15 and she's going, that's illegal in this country, you'll go to jail if you're trying to pick me up, I'm a 15-year-old girl. Because he's an asylum seeker who's being held, allegedly being held at this hotel, it's sent the far-right people who don't want any of these refugees coming into the country into fucking overdrive. But this is the original video.
How old are you?
25.
25. I'm only 15.
Okay, good.
Well, yeah, refugees are always legal, but they're calling them migrants because basically far-right people, they don't believe that they're actually real refugees who were scared for their lives in their countries. They think that they are migrants who are trying to game the system to come over here because they see the UK as this wonderful, brilliant place to be that has this great benefits system. They think that the UK government is just going, okay, cool, we won't look into your application at all and we'll just set you up in this hotel, in this 5-star hotel. They are refugees. They're refugees from war that have been accepted into the UK, but they haven't given them accommodation yet. So they've been put into these random hotels that had room throughout the country. And one of them is this hotel in Liverpool. This happened, I believe, 2 miles away from this hotel. He's allegedly a refugee from the hotel, and he's allegedly trying to pick up this 15-year-old girl. And this video got shared around all of the really far-right groups in the UK, and it set off this entire movement, this entire protest, basically.
How old are you?
25.
25. I'm only 15.
Okay, good.
That's not good.
I want to visit your husband.
No, sorry.
What's up?
You don't do this in this country. It's you go to jail if you do this.
Elise, I want.
No. No, you're all right. No. I'm 15. No. No, that's weird.
It is possible it could be staged. Weirdly, there is also a picture of this guy's face, but from across the road. Fair enough, this girl thought to get her camera phone out while this was happening for evidence, but she didn't film his face. But there was somebody across the road who managed to take a picture of his face. I don't know, maybe the person across the road thought that this looked like a weird situation and decided to take a photo. But they were far enough to not be able to hear what the conversation was. So it seems like it might have been staged, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But this video has set off this entire protest in Liverpool, which is just fucking insane. But basically they're protesting this hotel.
Loads here, mate. Absolutely loads. Big turnout. All on the main street. Thousands here. God won't let you near it. They're all hiding inside. Proper good mob here.
Then they set fire to a police van because they thought that the police were protecting the nonces.
Swords the one, boys. Riot busy's coming down the road.
Suella Braverman, she did say something about it eventually, yeah.
Everyone's gonna start getting nicked now.
Clashes now between the fascist protesters and the police. Really grim stuff. Must be terrifying for everyone. Looking on from inside that hotel, people flee war and violence to be faced with it in a place they thought safe.
Here's the plug, here's the plug. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not fucking running away from you. That's not it. Oh, yeah, fucking nuts. Fucking stupid little nuts protecting cunts. Swat fucking rat.
They're fucking idiots anyway. Yeah, we don't have any context for like where that original video came from, who is in the video. But what they do here is they sort of round themselves up using Telegram. I've joined their little Telegram chat group just to spy on them a little bit. They basically they share this video around Telegram. On the Telegram group, they're like going, remember guys, this is why we're fighting. This is why we're fighting. And they show this video. And they show the photo of his face as well. Moon spy. Yeah. I have a Telegram because I'm following two Telegram channels, and they're both like far right conspiracy Telegram channels. Like that seems to be what Telegram is for. But yeah, there's some anti-fascist groups did turn up as well to counter protest them as well. A video from earlier this evening showing people carrying signs that say "This is our city." Oh yeah, these are the leaflets they were handing out to like round people up. So this is the Telegram group, PA Northwest's activists. Yeah, that's the patriotic alternative. Northwest activists were out in Knowsley, Liverpool to protest the housing of hundreds of migrants in the Suites Hotel. After a banner drop and speech outside the hotel, enthusiastic activists from the PA Merseyside branch went on to deliver over 200 leaflets in the local area. 5-star hotels for migrants! Migrants housed here! Whilst Brits freeze! So like basically they're saying that the cost of living crisis has brought up the bills for UK people to like multiples of what they were before, and they're basically saying that they're housing migrants in 5-star hotels. I did look up the hotel. To be fair, it's pretty nice. It's 4 stars. It's not 5 stars. But like when you look at the bigger picture, it's like if you're fleeing a war-torn country, it's like these people think that there's no war in their home country, and they're just thinking, you know what I'd like to do is I'd like to leave my hometown. I'd like to leave my family and friends and everything I know in the job that I have here in my home country. Spend an indeterminate amount of time in a hotel in Liverpool. Yay! That would be great. That would be a real improvement on my life. Spend time in this random hotel in Liverpool. Why do they think that the government would give refugees like this really cushy life over UK residents? The anger that they feel for like having to pay high prices for energy right now, that's coming from the right place, but the anger is being directed towards completely the wrong people. But it's being directed towards those wrong people because of like basically the propaganda and the language that Tories have been using for, I don't know, the past decade, a very long time. Suella Braverman herself, she literally called it an invasion, and then she expects shit like this not to happen. Hunting migrants won't lower your energy bills. That's literally what the system as a whole wants these people to do. They don't want them to direct their anger at the real people that are causing their problem. They want them to direct their anger at these other people. It's easier to get your head round as well, isn't it? Oh, you're allowing this other person into the country. That means that's one less job that I can get, when it doesn't actually work like that. Oh, they do use white replacement theory though. Like the very group that organised this protest, they do use that argument of white replacement theory. I found their website from the Telegram. Like this is their little website. There we go. Native British people are set to become a minority by 2066. That is the first argument that they have up on their website. They have a fucking clock ticking down, calculating when white people are going to be a minority. Far right, Tommy Robinson types. They fucking love Tommy Robinson and all of that. Similarities to be drawn between the incident in Knowsley and far-right violence that took place recently in Dublin. In both cases, the far-right springboarded off the back of rumours about sexual violence in Dublin. Rumours turned out to be untrue. Needless to say, whatever was the catalyst for this protest, organised far-right groups have capitalised on the misinformation in the past in order to stoke fears. Genuinely shocked and saddened to see the large number of people taking to the streets threatening violence against asylum seekers and refugees. This comes from top-down government Tory MPs and the Labour right, yes, and the press. Flames of hate against migrants. I have some examples of that. Suella Braverman called them an invasion, and a Holocaust survivor confronted her about this.
In 1943, I was forced to flee my birthplace in Belgium, went across war-torn Europe and dangerous seas until I finally was able to come to the UK in 1947. Now, when I hear you using words against refugees like swarms and an invasion, I am reminded of the language used to dehumanise and justify the murder of my family and millions others. Why do you find the need to use that kind of language?
I won't apologise for the language that I used to demonstrate the scale of the problem. That we mustn't shy away from saying there is a problem. I will not shy away from saying we have a problem with people exploiting that generosity, breaking our rules and undermining our system.
She's literally backing up what they all think though. Like, they literally think that all of the refugees, they're pulled over here by our amazing welfare system. It's like literally not that generous at all. It comes from that same like very patriotic part of these people's brains though, where they think they all want to come here because the UK is so fucking good. It's so great. Like, our welfare system is so generous because we've got like loads of money to like spend on it. Compared to like Scandinavian countries, we barely take on any refugees. We're very stingy in that respect compared to other EU countries. Exploiting our generosity, what fucking generosity? Even Med countries have better welfare states. This is her whole thing though. She fucking loves like pitting the working class people against each other. Like when everybody was striking in the UK, this is what she was saying when people were striking against poor pay and working conditions. She's like, these people are so selfish.
The British public need to be able to go about their daily lives without missing vital hospital appointments, loved ones' funerals, or being able to get to work. Blocking motorways and slow...
The fucking music that they've used as well. They're so evil, these protesters. These strikers are so evil.
...walking in our roads. These selfish protesters take up thousands of hours of police resource. The right to protest is a fundamental principle of our democracy, but our public order bill will see proper penalties for the small minority who use guerrilla tactics to hold the public to ransom in the name of protest. And now...
Bitch, that's the fucking point! Holding the public to ransom is the fucking point! So you realise the service that they're giving to the UK. So the public fucking realise that they're needed and they should probably be paid a little bit more. And to be honest, you can fucking afford to pay them a little bit more, can't you? They're selfish.
And now we'll be clarifying what constitutes serious disruption in law. No longer will the police need to wait for selfish protesters to cause hours of gridlock on our streets, day after day, before they can act.
She fucking loves pumping money into the police as well. We're working hard to keep the British people safe and have already delivered more police and less crime. Maybe think like why crime happens in the first place. Maybe not have a reactive response to this. Maybe have a proactive response to why you think crime happens in the UK. No! More police! More police! Less crime! I'm Suella Braverman!
The footage that can still be seen, if you really want to see it, is shocking.
Oh yeah, she didn't tweet in response to the whole protest for ages. I think 5 o'clock, well, technically yesterday now, she tweeted saying, oh, it was so terrible that this happened. Nobody heard from her until about 5 o'clock yesterday. Yesterday meaning Saturday, when it happened on Friday night. And she even said in her tweet, we shouldn't be protesting because of the allegations of what an asylum seeker did. As if she was actually legitimizing the allegations that this far-right group were pitting against them. She legitimized the rumors that they started the whole protest on, saying that they were allegations.
The yobs, for they can be described as nothing else in my view, in the footage are seen shouting and throwing rocks at a hotel full of asylum seekers who are being accused of being paedophiles. The yobs then go on and accuse the police of protecting them. The claim that a male resident of the hotel had allegedly approached a 15-year-old girl. As I say, that footage is unverified. Clearly, if that's a case, that's a terrible thing. Nevertheless, does it really justify a baying, thuggish mob outside a hotel full of people who most likely, and the reason I say most likely, is because we have the statistics to prove it, to have fled Syria or Afghanistan or Iran. Now you imagine being in that hotel, having fled a war-torn country. Even if you haven't fled a war-torn country, perhaps you've come from Albania and you're trying to make a better life for yourself. Imagine looking out of the window and seeing 500 yobs, capturing a police van and setting it alight. What we are seeing is the systematic dehumanisation of a minority of people to explain away a failure of policy. And it's an absolute disgrace.
She also deals with a caller later in the broadcast, which wants absolutely zero refugees and no asylum seekers in Britain ever!
And have absolutely zero refugees and asylum seekers in Britain. But the problem is, this conversation won't go ever.
Hang on, wait, sorry, this is interesting. So I would counter your argument by saying you absolutely, definitely have an outlet, as we all do. It's called a general election, and they tend to be held every 4 to 5 years in this country, certainly as long as I've been alive, and that's quite a long time. I would also say that Rishi Sunak is a man who is singing your tune, Nick, because he's a man who wants to withdraw from, as far as I can see, our international obligations to house asylum seekers and refugees.
It's not that simple, though, because even if, and by the way, if the Conservatives or any other party stood on that ticket, they would win.
They are standing on this ticket. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
They're talking about trying to manage within the current framework of law asylum seeking. I'm saying that it would be an absolute vote winner to just say that, given the way the world is now, to have the view that we should be responsible for letting anyone apply for asylum who basically lives somewhere horrible. You're talking 2/3 of the population of the planet.
Wait, 2/3 of the population of the planet want to come here.
What?
Is that what you just said?
Yes.
What?
Based on what?
Somewhere horrible, and if they were free to do
2/3
so,
of the planet.
Yes.
Wait, there are 7 billion people in the world.
Yes.
Who 5 billion or so want to come to Britain.
If it was made easier, they could simply tick a box and say, I've got a horrible life for what.
The whole of the United...
This is what I'm saying. It comes from this insane patriotism that these people have. The UK is so fucking great that literally, if 2/3 of the whole entire fucking world could move here, they probably fucking would. That's how fucking great the UK is. Not everybody thinks the UK is that great. Believe me. Most of them probably think that we're fucking idiots. They truly do.
The United States wants to come to Britain.
They're obviously not counted in there.
What, the whole of... Hang on, but you said 2/3 of the planet, not me.
Yes.
So the whole of the United
of the
States wants to come to Britain.
No,
South America? Does everybody from South America want to come here?
Yeah.
Really?
I would say at least half
just
the
double checking that. We're talking about
90%
North
of
and
the
South.
population.
Okay, got you. And what about the whole of the European Union? Are they interested? The ones that we've just jettisoned.
They're a tiny population compared to and the United States.
Right. So when you said 2/3 of the population wants to come to the UK, you didn't mean 2/3 of the population of the world. You didn't really mean 2/3, did you?
I absolutely did. You know the demographics of where all the people in the world.
Double down.
The whole of China wants to come to the UK. Does it?
Absolutely.
The brainworms are off the charts. Oh my god. Welcome to the Zoom stream.
That's the normal rap. Normal rap is like this. That's the normal rap. The rap goes like this.